Yes, ordinary, till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Frank Omalape. In our major story.
And I've given the order to my men that whoever is caught with weapons or any offensive weapons against the state will be brought down. That's a straight message to everybody, irrespective of his party.
Army reads riot acts to troublemakers ahead the June 21 governorship election in Ekiti State. Also in this program, Nigeria's leading opposition party APC shuts down Abuja as it holds its first national convention. Police justify siege on the palace of Emir of Kano, says it was done to save lives and property. Outside Nigeria, Afghan forces search cars, attempt to thwart Taliban suicide attackers on the eve of presidential election.
On business news tonight.
CBN and Central Bank of Nigeria orders return of excess cost of transaction charges to bank customers.
And in sports, Cameroon, one of Africa's representatives at the World Cup, loses first match to Mexico.
Thank you for joining us again on CoreTV Primetime News. Here are the details of the headlines news. INEC resident Electoral Commissioner in Ekiti, Halilu Pai, and Commander of the Army Detachment drafted for the June 21 governorship election, Ali Wamo, have restated their commitment to the conduct of a H-free poll in the state. Ekiti State correspondent Rashid now completes this story.
As reactions continue to trail the discovery of a truckload of voting materials intercepted by the Nigerian Army in Ado-Ekiti on Thursday, the INEC resident electoral commissioner in the state has allayed all fears, indicating that the material are waste products of the commission. Already, there are fears on the part of the people that the discovery is a deliberate plan hatched by yet unknown politicians to manipulate the forthcoming election. Again, the resident electoral commissioner maintains INEC and security agencies are ready for the election.
Of course, everybody will see that we are prepared. In terms of the materials, we have already sent all the non-sensitive materials to the 16 local government areas. We have already trained our SPOs, and as we speak, we are training the POs and the APOs. So we are now expecting the sensitive materials.
Leader of the Army Detachment drafts to the state for the election, Aliyu Momo, admonished Ekiti people to be at peace and assured them that the Nigerian Army is only on ground for that purpose and not to scare them.
Not here to harass, to embarrass anybody. We are here to keep the peace, to make sure Ekiti people, life and property is secure throughout the period of the election. Those who are harboring hoodlums, and I bet you will get them out, and I've given the order to my men that whoever is caught with weapons or any offensive weapons against the state will be brought down. That's a straight message to everybody, irrespective of his party. We are neutral.
He, however, did not fail to read riot acts to those planning to truncate the peaceful conduct of the election.
But I want to assure you that my men are everywhere to see that the incoming election is free and fair. We are not going to take anything for granted. Actually, we have almost 10 days to go, but we are already on the ground. And that's to send a strong warning to those troubleshooters that we are ready to match them west to west and arms to arm. The gentlemen, please convey to them.
Though with so much trepidation on the part of many, the people believe that a heavy presence of military personnel and other security agencies on the streets of Ekiti may very well guarantee the desired peace before, during, and after the re-election. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Meanwhile, the police authorities have assured Nigerians, especially indigenes of Ekiti State, of the readiness of security operatives to ensure a hitch-free governorship election in the state. Inspector General of Police Muhammad Abubakar gave this assurance during a brief meeting with the police management team. He warned all troublemakers and anti-socially elements to stay away from Ekiti throughout the period of the election, as the police will not hesitate to arrest and prosecute any person, no matter how highly placed in society. Police spokesman Frank Mba disclosed that the IG has ordered Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the operations, Michael Zokomo, to relocate to Ekiti State and ensure adequate police presence and coordination of all security operations for the June 21 election. For the first time in many years, Eagle Square is witnessing the carnival-like atmosphere associated with major political events. It was quite clear that supporters of the All Progressive Congress were eager to show the party's strength as delegates converged to elect a new national executive. But for many, it is the best time to drum up support for their preferred candidate ahead 2015. The report is presented from our studios.
Eagle Square had not witnessed this type of crowd in recent times. This is because security consideration had in the last 4 years taken precedence due to the closeness to the 3 armed zones. But APC supporters are in town and its same security is more relaxed. Petty traders and souvenir hawkers are allowed within torching distance of the gate. And even though the convention is all about delegates electing new party leaders, many APC members have their sights set on 2015. Posters and banners dot every angle. Also, political hungers are out in their numbers, drumming support for their preferred choice. Of interest to many is this poster of a governorship aspirant from Katsina State. Yes, this is the younger brother of the late President Umaru Yar'Adua, seeking the same office his brother once occupied. And as party supporters drum around Eagle Square, security operatives are also on foot and motorized patrol around the square. It's therefore not surprising that the situation has created a traffic gridlock in the city center. But for APC members, all these are signs of the strength of the party they are convinced will occupy the center in 2015.
Eminent constitutional lawyer Issa Sege has condemned the religious toga being bandied around a choice of who steps into the shoes of Babátúndé Fáṣọlá as the next governor of Lagos State. Sage will make this known against the backdrop of calls in some quarters that religion is a primus factor, says performance is and should be the yardstick for measuring success.
A Muslim government does not build Muslim roads for Muslims to use alone. We all use the roads, we all use the hospitals, we all use the schools. Let us go for the best person regardless of his religion, and let this primitive and backward pride be totally ignored. Let us go for the best regardless of the religion.
Minister of Police Affairs Abdul Jalili Adesina has justified the siege laid on the palace of the Emir of Kano by policemen. He says it was done to protect lives and property. He advised Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso to appreciate the efforts of security agents at ensuring peace in his state instead of abusing President Goodluck Jonathan. Kwankwaso had on Wednesday accused Jonathan of being responsible for the protests that followed the appointment of a former governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, as the Emir of Kano. The governor also accused the president of deploying policemen to the palace in his speech to thwart Sanusi's emergence as the traditional ruler of the ancient town. However, Adesina, in a statement by his chief press secretary, Wale Akiola, says the governor needed to be educated on the role of police and other security agencies in the society. The minister added that no responsible governor could raise his voice and abuse a sitting president with a view to scoring cheap political goals. The Nigerian authorities say military troops are still conducting air and land operations against insurgents in the northeast. This, according to coordinator of the National Information Center, Michael Mary, is a demonstration of government's commitment to end terrorism. He added that contacts and consultations are going on in effort to rescue the abducted Chibok girls. Omeri also dismissed claims that some women were recently abducted near Chibok. He insisted that neither the police nor the military received any report of new abduction. President Goodluck Jonathan late last night briefed former heads of state on efforts to find hundreds of girls abducted from Chibok, Borno State, by insurgents. The former leaders also committed themselves to supporting Jonathan and the Borno State government to get the girls back to their parents. Presidency spokesman Reuben Abati says in his statement that they also offer help in stemming the tide of insurgency in the country. The former heads of state present were General Yakubu Gowon, Abdul Salami, Abubakar and Muhammadu Buhari. And Shoneko and Shehu Shagari were also present alongside the Borno State Governor Kashim Shettima. Ibrahim Babangida and former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who is also working on securing the release of the girls, were absent. The rising cases of sexual abuse trouble the minds of many. Find out why Nigerian women judges engage others in deliberation on the issues after this short break. Be back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN, everywhere you go.
This one wash challenge will test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel. P&G Everyday Quality brand.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the minute details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of the Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of INEC. Without...
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on CoreTV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
This is CoreTV Primetime News. For more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can also like our Twitter handle at CoreTV News and G. And on YouTube, it's youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, the news. Nigerian women judges have called for justice for all in a sensitization forum to educate security operatives, market women, students, and parents on the right actions to take in cases of sexual abuse. Omotaya Law was at the conference put together by the judges and brought back this report.
Let them sit down with the CJ and know how to handle the market women. So that's our reaction now, because we are being messed up by all these men. And the little ones we send out for market, they are being messed up. So
in order to put an end to rising cases of sexual abuse and maltreatment of victims, women judges urge security operatives to investigate abuse cases professionally without prejudice before going to court. These women judges emphasize the importance of the move for justice for all in the country.
We want to break the culture of silence. We want police officers to welcome victims with empathy and not say, what were you wearing? Why did you go? What were you doing at 10 p.m. at night that you said you were raped? The important thing is that she was raped by somebody who is not supposed to rape her.
We need the police to be active. We need the courts to be sensitive. Sometimes you have a witness. In the course of testifying, the witness breaks down and starts crying. You can stand down the matter.
Our focus is on violence against women, particularly sexual violence against women. And everywhere, all over the world where our members are found, they are doing similar things.
Resource persons at the conference advise on ways to prevent rape and steps that victims must take.
One of the things is not to keep silent, no matter how shameful it might be, because there are mitigating circumstances. It affects their mental health, physical health, there might be diseases, there is the danger of pregnancy.
If all of us decide to arise and decide that we are going to be advocates against this, we are going to speak up. We are not going to tolerate a culture of silence. We are not going to tolerate people making jokes about what is potentially a very explosive and dangerous situation. Then we are the ones who can make the change in society.
What is important is the evidence that is available, and the duty of the police is to put together that evidence. When I come to the police and I say that someone has stolen from me, that's all I need to do. They then go on to investigate.
A representative of the Nigerian police force put up a defense to counter accusation from one of the resource persons.
Gone are the days where you find a police officer will come to discourage the victim. No, we don't do that right now. And you have one, we are sure you're one of the folks. And we are also doing something very, very closely related to the issue.
However, the Lagos State Deputy Governor, represented by Head Ministry of Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Riskat Akinyode, promised to put in more measures to reduce the rising trend of women and child abuse.
We now need everybody's help to ensure that we prosecute offenders and we sensitize our people what to do, how to escape, or to avoid all these matters.
The Association of Female Justice in Nigeria has brought to the awareness people of Nigeria that all women should be treated fairly, especially as it relates to rape cases and sexual violence of women. Their call to all Nigerians is justice for all, and it's the belief that this call is heeded by all Nigerians. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
We are not done yet on CoreTV Primetime News. After the break, CBN orders banks to return excess charges on cost of transaction to customers. More on these and other business stories with Sabena Izopu just in a moment.
This one wash challenge will test Ariel to see if it removes stains in one wash. Let the challenge begin. First, chocolate and juice. We will wash shirts with Ariel. Look, Ariel has cleaned in just one wash. So which detergent removes stains in one wash? Ariel, P&G Everyday Quality Brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ghana. Please remain seated and ensure your seatbelts are fastened. You can now turn on your MTN mobile phone data to enjoy a browsing rate of 5 kobo per kilobyte with MTN One World. Thank you.
Absolutely. Browse like home with MTN One World. Surfing the web from any MTN operating country costs the same like home. Enjoy affordable rates when you call and send text messages. Terms and conditions apply.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Come June 21, it will be decision day for the people of Ekiti. 18 candidates are gunning for one seat.
I am the next governor of Ekiti.
But the people will have the final say.
I know that tolerance has a very big place.
Join extensive coverage of the election and get up to the many details as development unfolds.
I'm the voice of Ekiti people.
With expert analysis from the best political team on television.
And that's honesty of INEC. Without
Join us all day June 21 to find out who emerges the next governor of Ekiti State.
We have agreed to move this state forward.
Keep a date with us on CoreTV News. You can also watch us live on our website on www.coretvnews.com, a 24-hour news station.
CoreTV News presents a platform with presence in over 30 states of the Federation. Be sure to be had. For live coverage of events, we have the capacity to deliver from anywhere in Nigeria and beyond. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733, 014-533-407.
A 24-hour news station.
Hello, welcome to the world of business. The Central Bank of Nigeria has urged banks to follow the revised guide to bank charges issued last year to standardize charges for various products and services offered by lenders. In a circular signed by Franklin Ahonkai for the Central Bank of Nigeria Director, Financial Policy and Regulations, the APAS Bank accused some banks of charging commissions on turnover at the rate of 3 naira per mil instead of 2 naira per mil agreed for 2013. It directed the affected banks to refund the excesses cost of transaction charges to the customers within 30 days. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Emefiele, who disclosed this at this year's Committee of Chief Compliance Officers of Banks in Nigeria, held in Lagos, said perpetrators often collide with officers of legitimate organizations and financial institutions to commit the crimes. He said the rebasing of Nigeria's gross domestic product, GDP, will attract more foreign direct investments into the country, but can also open up the country to international fraudsters. Emefiele says Nigeria has adequate legal and regulatory measures that will address breaches to know your customer, customer due diligence, and enhance customer due diligence provisions. In the same vein, Central Bank of Nigeria says it will issue short-dated treasury bills on the 18th of June to raise 168.3 billion naira, part of debt issuance program it announced this week. The bank plans to raise 33.26 billion naira in 3 months bills, 65.02 billion naira in 6 months, and 70 billion naira in 1-year notes using the revised Dutch auction system. Nigeria intends to raise 936.9 billion naira through treasury bills over the next 3 months, according to the debt issuance calendar published by the bank. Deposit Money Bank will commence rollout of bank verification numbers registration of customers on the 16th of June 2014. This signifies the end of the pilot phase of the project, during which over 7,000 bank verification numbers are issued by 21 deposit money banks and the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System PLC to existing internal bank customers. As the rollout commences, the bank customers will be expected to follow some listed process for enrollment. Such processes are fill and submit the BVN, which is also known as the bank verification numbers, and then for the enrollment form, present yourself for data capturing. Within 24 hours, the system confirms the application. The BVN is generated and an SMS is received for pickup. This is in alignment with the phased approach adopted in executing the 3-tiered Know Your Customer and Cashless policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The coordinator, Cassava Value Chain Internal Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA, regional hub for Tanzania, Adebayo Abbas, says the cassava industry can create 3 million jobs in Nigeria. At the Cassava Adding Value for Africa, CAVA, Stakeholders Forum in Lagos, Abbas said there are tremendous opportunities for the industry to create 30 million jobs across Africa. Abbas says the cassava with a friendly farming model can turn into a 21st century crop, and there is a huge market for the commodity if grown in all parts of the country. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development Akiwumi Additional says the cassava transformation project seeks to create a new generation of cassava farmers oriented towards commercial production and farming as a business, and to link them up to reliable demand either from processors or guaranteed minimum price scheme of government. The minister said the federal government has given the Bank of Industry the mandate to manage 4.3 billion naira cassava bread fund to support small and medium enterprises, master bakers and large industrial cassava flour mills. The National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, has just signed a memorandum of understanding with the Schneider Electric, a French firm, for the training of Nigerian electrical engineers. The Director General of NAPTIN, Ruben Okeke, says the memorandum of understanding will greatly boost the institute's drive to ensure adequate training for Nigerians in the power sector. Schneider will train instructors who will in turn train technicians involved in professional wiring of houses to avoid fire accidents. The Director General said NAPTIN currently has over 600 engineers undergoing training, saying the collaboration is timely as it will produce the needed knowledgeable manpower to develop the sector. If information from the recently concluded workshop seminar on energy is anything to go by, the Kaduna refinery will run at a full capacity by the first quarter of 2015. Speaking at the workshop, Said Mohammed, the Managing Director, Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemicals Company, says the refinery will run at 100% capacity by 2015. The two-day workshop has a theme, Managing Information in the Oil and Gas Industry. Mohammed says due to the improved operational efficiency of the company at the moment, the plant operated at 60% capacity. The major units of the fuel section of the refinery, including the crude, flue catalytic cracking units, has been restrained to provide the desired output. And on the market report, activities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange floor ended on a bullish note today. The market capitalization appreciated by 0.00% to close at 13.71 trillion naira. The all shares index rose by 288.45 points to close at 41,517.10 basis points. A total of 215 million ordinary shares worth 2.54 billion naira were traded in 4,551 deals. Conversely, Seplat PLC topped the gainers chart, followed by Con Oil PLC, Nigerian Brewers PLC, Dangote Cement PLC, and Stanbic IBTC PLC. Okomo Oil PLC led the losers chart, followed by NCR PLC, WAPCO PLC, Just Brew PLC, and Nascon PLC. And here are the top 5 trades. And that's it on business news. I am Sabena Izuku. Coming up next is sport news with Brownsie Uwana. Stay with us.
A very big thanks for joining us on Sport News tonight. I am Brownsie Uwana. Mexico overcame two controversially disallowed goals to beat their rivals Cameroon by a goal to nil. Giovanni Dos Santos had a volley and a header disallowed, with replay suggesting both calls were incorrect. Cameroon rarely threatened, but a Samuel Eto'o shot hit the post and Bernard Asuekoto's free kick went wide. The African side struggled to deal with the wing back in the 5-3-2 formation employed by the Aztec, who appeared to have a legitimately early goal disallowed. Meanwhile, defending champion Spain were demolished 5-1 by Netherlands in their opening game in Group B, while Chile will take on Australia later tonight. And away from that, former Nigerian midfielder Austin J.J. Okocha has said that the Super Eagles can win the World Cup in Brazil. Okocha said the beauty of the World Cup is to see smaller countries spring surprise against the favorite. Also analyzing Nigeria's chance in Group F, he feels the Eagles, though in a very tough group, but has all the chance to excel in the group. Nigeria's best performance in the competition was a second-round finish achieved at the 1994 and 1998 editions staged in USA and France, respectively. And now to the Premier League, where Manchester City have announced the signing of Bakary Sagna on a free transfer from Arsenal. The French international right-back joined the Premier League champions on a 3-year contract after confirming on Thursday that he would not renew his deal at the Emirates Stadium. The defender's future at Gunners had been in doubt for a very long time. Sagna joined the likes of Porto midfielder Fernando as City's manager Manuel Pellegrini's top target in the close season, and he opened formal negotiation with his soon-to-be-renewed side on May 19. And finally, on sport news tonight, to the NBA, where San Antonio Spurs are one win away from a 5th NBA championship in 15 years after demolishing Miami 107-86. Kyle Leonard scored 20 points and had 14 rebounds as the Spurs won a second straight game in Miami to lead the best-of-7 series 3-1. No team has overcome a 3-1 deficit in the finals, but Spurs' Tony Parker expects the Heat to respond. Meanwhile, LeBron James had 28 points and 8 rebounds for the Heat, but admitted that San Antonio Spurs were the better team of the night. Yeah, that's a wrap on Sport News tonight. I am Bronson Wana. Frank Omalape will be back with the rest of the news. Stay with us.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
CoreTV News now provide a platform for live coverage of political rallies and electioneering campaign from anywhere in Nigeria. Political news stories, political editorial reviews, political discussions, personality profile, People's Parliament from the National, State and Local Government Assembly. Contact us now on 0803-471-8550 or 0803-724-9733. 01453-3407.
Our 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you back from the world of business and sport with Sabina and Bronson Wana. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. For more information on our news and other programs, visit our Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News, and also follow us on Twitter at Twitter CoreTV News NG, and on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, then news. Outside Nigeria now, Afghan police and soldiers searched almost every car on the roads of Kabul and other cities in an attempt to thwart Taliban suicide attackers on the eve of presidential elections. Insurgents have threatened to target polling stations on Saturday, where voters will choose between former Foreign Minister Abdullah Abdullah and ex-World Bank economist Ashraf Ghani. The second-round vote on Saturday comes as US-led NATO troops withdraw after more than a decade of fighting the Taliban, who were ousted from power in 2001 for sheltering Al-Qaeda militants behind the 9/11 attacks. Afghan officials are desperate to repeat the success of the first-round vote in April, when insurgents failed to launch a single high-profile attack on long lines of voters turned up across the country to cast their ballots. Outgoing President Hamid Karzai has also ordered all security personnel to remain neutral in the elections as officials try to avoid the massive fraud that undermined the 2009 poll when he retained power. Tens of thousands of people have fled the Iraqi city of Tikrit and Samarra after they came under attack from Islamic militants. The International Organization for Migration made this known and warned it is bracing up for a drawn-out crisis. Islamic fighters and the Levant have overrun a section of major towns and cities over the last week and are closing in on Baghdad. The Geneva-based International Organization for Migration says its sources on ground estimate 40,000 people have fled militant-held Tikrit and Samarra, which have come under a series of attacks. The latest figure adds to the 500,000 people the organization estimates to have fled Iraq's second city, Mosul, after it was overrun on Tuesday. Meanwhile, the UN's World Food Programme has launched an emergency operation to bring food aid to some 42,000 of the most vulnerable refugees, which will see nearly 550 metric tons of food a month brought into Iraq at a cost of around $1.5 million. The International Criminal Court says it will try Ivory Coast ex-president Laurent Gbagbo for crimes against humanity allegedly committed during a bloody 2010-2011 election standoff. Gbagbo, 69, the first former head of state brought before the ICC, is accused of masterminding a campaign of violence in the world's largest cocoa-producing country during post-presidential election violence. More than 3,000 people were killed. The charges include for murder, rape, and prosecution. One of the three judges dissented, however, saying there was not a realistic chance of a conviction. Gbagbo maintains that he was evicted in favor of his rival, current president Alassane Ouattara, thanks to a plot led by former colonial master France. French and UN forces back an assault on Gbagbo's villa in Abidjan, after which Ouattara's forces detained him and handed him over to the ICC. The charges are for allegedly fomenting the wave of violence as he refused to hand over to election winner Ouattara after 10 years in power. He has denied the charges against him. Well, and that has been the show tonight on CoreTV Primetime News. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Frank Omalape, wishing a pleasant weekend.